Sam is after the Holy Trinity as well. He says, my bread and butter has been a fiber laser engraver. Christmas may change that with the CO2. Give me enough time and I'll probably have a UV as well. That's the Trinity, man. That's the big three. I should be wearing my Trinity shirt today. It's kind of the topic. But yeah, man, you want, one of each plus diode at the end, because that kills it, man. That's like the good setup. Nothing's off the table for you after that.
The Trinity fiber CO2 and UV are like the legs of a tripod, right? And then you have diode waving the flag on the top.
They literally stick their nose in it.
How many live rapper recording sessions have you been to, Matt?
17.
Wow, that's a big number.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's up and welcome to the Laser Source Podcast, the #1 podcast. If you're looking to grow or scale your laser business, Kyle has a bunch of awesome goodies for us today. We've got Matt here with us as well, and Tacky is a no-show. Tacky, where are you, man? Jump in at any time if you find the link in your Discord inbox, because we're really looking forward to talking to Tacky today. So hopefully we'll get a visit from him at some point. Kyle, you've got a ton to share. So before we get to you, I'd just like to check in with my good buddy, Matt. How are you, Matt? How you doing, man?
I am doing pretty well, man. Just plugging along. I was supposed to be on a yacht this week, but I decided to stay home and be a good teacher.
Good.
So otherwise,
Yachts are
pretty
overrated.
Good. Yeah. Millionaires, whatever.
Just the ocean in general. Nah.
Dolphins being
I prefer I prefer land. I'm good on dry land personally. The only time that I'd actually really enjoy being out on water would be like an Arctic cruise, like I want to see some like polar bears like breaking some seals' necks and shit. Like that would be cool. I'd be down for that. That would be fun as hell. Seeing like icebergs
Savage.
and whatever. Like that would be dope. But just like out in like, Florida or whatever on a yacht.
Oh no! So literally, the guy who was trying to get me to go sent me a picture or like a video this morning of dolphins riding in the wake as he had his coffee on the back of the ship that he owns now. And I was like, "That's cool." I sent him that video of me driving past like washed out sinkholes in Florida.
Yeah, dope. And I have been spending the week doing this, guys. I had to rearrange the entire home studio because Marco emailed me today and said the Ranger is shipped, so it's on the way.
Oh,
yeah, which is sweet, and it's going to go right there, right in that spot, right there. So we'll have a CO2 at the home studio now, which will be awesome for me, and probably good for you guys too, because we can do a little more gantry content. But yeah, I got my hats up. I got Miranda's PC is over here. I actually have a printer hooked up now. I've never been able to print things before. So that just a small, I can even zoom out a little bit. There's the bed that Nugget and I sleep in at night because she won't sleep without me now because I've spoiled her. And of course my AC, which has to come out soon because autumn is approaching rapidly. But just kind of a studio update. Yay. So that's that. But Kyle, man of the hour, you've got just like a pile of freaking toys over there.
I do.
Talk to me. What do you got?
So last week we got a wonderful shipment courtesy of DHL. Got a 30-watt Rakusen. That's this guy right here. So we kind of alluded to that the last time we were on. So we'll be able to kind of gauge and test a little bit more the differences of a Rakus versus what we've had experience with so far. Seeing as Rakus, we recently found out, has kind of that weird variable pulse width thing it does when you adjust frequency. So that'll be fun to kind of test and feel out. And hopefully we can kind of tune that in. And as you guys know, I have my 60 watt. Had that since early this year.
Ye old
feels like forever
at this point. Yeah.
Yes. And then, so you guys know that one well. That's been on the channel for a while now. And recently, We got a 100-watt JPT this past Saturday.
Literally days ago. Yeah.
Days ago, yes. I've been struggling to kind of get my shop kind of oriented again, because every time I kind of feel out where I want things to go, I'm adding another toy. Mm-hmm. So we got a 100-watt JPT here, which is kind of exciting because that allows me to, yeah, I see the faces in chat. It allows me to do some side-by-side testing with a 30-watt, 60-watt, and 100-watt.
Yeah.
Which now we can put a time for like comparisons. So if you're doing a coin and you want a certain depth, I can, to some degree, say how long that's going to take with all three power levels, right?
One of the nice things too is going to be like being able to fine tune the LMA libraries among a range, because not only do these machines have varying wattages, but they also have various like pulse widths, right? Some are MOPA, some are not. Some are 150 nanosecond lock, some are 200 nanosecond lock. Those things all make a difference, and we've not really accounted for that on the LMA so far. So that's a lot of that last mile we always tell people they have to do with the LMA parameter library, and having a like range, a gamut of machines at our disposal will really help us to kind of tune that in across the spectrum. I actually have a new laser coming in too. Last week on the podcast, we announced that Jimmy got the 60-watt M7 from SFX as a hand-me-down, and that was to make way for the 80-watt Mactron. So we'll have an 80-watt in there too, which will add just another
like the whole spectrum
data point. Yeah, exactly. So that's really exciting.
I think it was really cool too that you got the Rakis, because there's so many people who have those like beginning lasers, or they're trying to get like, they have questions about it, and then the frequency range is way different. Yeah. And things play a little odd. Yeah. Like I already know, I've seen some of the products and cool stuff you've made with it, and it's looking sharp, man.
Yeah, it's I really I'm excited for it. I know I have a 60-watt. I now have a 100-watt, but I'm still excited for the 30-watt too, because it's going to allow people who don't have $8,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 for a bigger laser. This is intended to be a good entry point. Mm-hmm. So, it's going to go through some testing. I'm going to see what it can handle and what it can't handle. And we're going to see where it struggles and where it thrives. I do have a ring rotary for it. Kind of the basis for my testing is to come at it from the angle of like portability and usability. So we've had people who want to do like jewelry on the road, right? Trade shows or do take like a travel machine with them, something like an EM Smart. Well, this is like a slightly more capable EM Smart.
It looks like a fat EM Smart. Like if the EM Smart like gains some weight.
Yes. Yeah. Basically.
Are you body shaming?
It's got
body shaming the Rakis. Yeah.
It's got a 500 tower on it. It's hand cranked, so it's not powered, which saves a little bit of weight. Mm-hmm. And it comes with, I think you can choose between 150 or 110 lens. Mm-hmm. It came with a 150. I did order a 70 with it as well. So I kind of have that range. So we're going to try out doing some rings, some different stuff. I'm going to go back to my tried and true slate and see if I can reproduce my settings on that.
Oh, yeah.
With the Rakis.
Nice. I know we've streamed about it, but I don't know if we've mentioned it on the podcast. But you have a UV now too, which I don't think we mentioned in the lineup. That's also relatively new.
So I have a 5-watt JPT. It's a 355-5 Lark source UV from Pascal. That's been in testing. Pretty soon I'll be doing I'm going to be doing a lot of streaming. So probably sometime this weekend or maybe later this week, I'll probably be doing a stream with the Rakis, depending on what fits into the schedule. And then after that, I'll probably be doing a live stream with the 100-watt, because I have some projects that I want to try out with that, with some deep engraving.
I didn't even really think about this, but you have like a really nice spread of brand representation back there too, which is nice.
Every single one of my lasers is technically a different brand. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty
of
cool.
the 4 Galvos I have 4 brands.
Yeah.
I think I'm really excited to see you work with like that entry level laser, because like you said, there's so many people on the Discord, on the Facebook group who are like, hey, I'm trying to start at this point or less, and then there's so much to be seen for people who are trying to get into this. So that should be really cool, man.
Really quick, just before it slips by, Mike Cruz asked a good question. I want to make sure that we answer it really quick. So Mike says, in a future video, can you go over what can be done with 2 millijoule pulse energy that can't be done with 1.5 millijoule? I think a wider assortment of plastics was mentioned in the SFX review. So yes, we can touch on that right now. We should probably do a video about this at some point. In fact, I think we added it to the Hackin' Plan recently. 2 millijoules would actually be worse for plastic. So the whole nice thing about having a higher pulse output power is that as your frequency increases, right, you'll have more power that you can use at higher frequencies, essentially. So at lower frequencies, you're not going to notice a huge difference. And so a trick that a lot of people do with these high millijoule like pulse output powers is they'll jack up the pulse width at high frequencies, and then they'll get a lot more energy and a lot more hits. Because remember, frequency is how many times we're hitting the metal, how many pulses per second, right? And the pulse width or pulse duration is how long those pulses are lasting for, how long those hits are lasting for. So with a higher pulse output power, you have more flexibility on the high end of frequency to maintain your power. Because if you think about like a Q-switched machine, generally the higher a frequency you go, the less powerful it feels, because we're doing more small hits instead of, big long ones. That isn't necessarily true for MOPA lasers, and it's definitely not necessarily true for high pulse output power MOPA lasers. So that's having all 3 of those things in conjunction means that you can do things like very fast cutting at high frequencies that behave like low frequency cuts, which is really cool. It's a little complicated, and it would be better served to you guys to could certainly publish a video with like some graphics to help explain it. But that's essentially the main benefit, is that you can rock stuff hard at high frequencies, which you can't necessarily do with standard Q-switched or regular MOPA or low pulse output power MOPA machines. Do you have anything you want to add to that, Kyle?
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. Basically, you can with MOPA too. The other thing is that you're able to increase frequency and speed and get more done in the same amount of time. Essentially,
same amount of time,
with the higher power. Yeah,
right. So more pulse power per pulse just means that much faster, right? And when we're going from 1.5 millijoules to 2, we're talking about a 25% efficiency increase, or a 25% more reach on the high end of your frequency range. So there are definitely benefits, but the one thing that it won't benefit is working with plastics. Generally, you want lower pulse widths and higher frequencies for plastics, because we don't want to overheat the plastic. So the higher the pulse output power, the I would venture to say the not the worse, but the more difficult it will be to get good plastics performance, because you have more power you have to wrangle back in order to not melt your plastics. So
cutting power.
Well, and then my thing too is, do you have an application for that? So it's one of those things too, like reach out to the people at SFX too and say, hey, I'm trying to accomplish this. Is this the right tool for the job? They'll definitely be able to help you out for sure. Good question.
And there's a couple more. We'll just rattle through them really quick here. Jace Laser, I'm looking at getting a 400 by 400 or larger CO2 Galvo. It's a big boy. I've also thought about maybe a small lens with a motorized XY table. Do you have any input on this? Get a lot of power for that 400. I even just on the, like my 30 watt like gets stuff done, but I am working in the like 110 to like 200 millimeter range. So 60, 80, 100 watt Galvo CO2, if you want to utilize that 400 millimeter workspace effectively. And don't forget, for the love of God, please, to upgrade your scan head to a 20 millimeter scan head. You need resources on that. We have them on the channel. Input, gentlemen? Good?
If you're going that big on a lens, it might even be worth considering like a 180 watt, because you're losing so much going that large.
The throw alone, it's just like, that
like I'm sitting here thinking, like, how big is your tower going to have to be for that if you're doing a galvo?
Your tower is going to be up against, like, if you're working out of the garage, your tower is going to be up against your ceiling.
Yeah,
and you're going to be hitting stuff at like knee level.
Mm-hmm. What's the percentage like from a throw from a fiber to a CO2? I know it's more.
As far as like
50%
focal distance,
more.
Or they're not
too far off.
The CO2 is definitely shorter.
Okay.
Short. No, I was going to say longer, but that's not accurate. It's definitely shorter. In fact, it's so much shorter that when I was using the Galvo CO2 with my 110 lens, I actually have to put my parts up on like building blocks in order to get them the extra height, because my tower won't go low enough. It strikes the work table before I can actually get the Galvo head within focusing like range of the parts and stuff. So it's I would say like around 40 to 50% shorter than fiber in my experience.
Wow.
Which is crazy and makes it difficult to work with, because you really, that's the other thing to consider, Jace, is that your dot size is going to be freaking gigantic at 400 millimeters. It's gigantic on the 110 because CO2, you know what I mean? It's just a huge dot, man. So you really have to expand that beam a lot before it goes through the f-theta lens. The bigger it goes in, the smaller it comes out. So you really need a nice big beam expander. They have 30 millimeter scan heads, 40 millimeter scan heads. You can get them. You're blowing the CO2 laser dot up way big before it's going through the f-theta. And of course they're expensive, but you'll get a much finer point coming out the other end. But at 400 millimeters, your dot size is going to be really, really, really big. So definitely do not go with I don't even know if they make 400 millimeter lenses for 10 millimeter scan heads. I'm pretty sure you have to go like 20 or higher, because they do stop at a certain point. You have to upgrade the head in order to get larger field sizes. So
I'm just sitting there thinking about the arm that's on that Galvo. Like, that's going to be heavy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no kidding.
Sitting here like picturing that like scan head this big.
It's a beefy bastard, man.
German formula. In the SFX review, you said it's an EasyCAD 2 board. Is this correct, or is it an EasyCAD 2 light board as it shows in the listing pictures on Amazon and their own website? I used the phrase EasyCAD 2 board vaguely in that episode because it really doesn't matter anymore now that Lightburn is out, because Lightburn will take either of those boards and do virtually the same exact thing with it. So if they're showing light boards on the listing, then that's likely what they have. Light boards are still EasyCAD 2 boards. They're just slimmed down a little bit for cost savings, but anything that is lost other than I think fly marking pin ports is irrelevant. So unless this thing is going on a conveyor belt of some sort, it should not matter either way. If you're going to use Lightburn, which again I couldn't recommend more at this point. So I'm sure whatever they put on their listing is accurate. The best way to be 100% is to reach out and ask, and I would, because their customer support is good. They're nice guys over there, but just double check. But it shouldn't matter, especially if you plan on using Lightburn. Is it possible to just switch a laser source in my fiber for a higher output, or would I need to replace everything except the control board? I mean, if by everything, Mark, question was from Mark, if by everything you mean your power supplies, you probably will have to switch out your power supplies, at least the one supplying power to your laser source.
To your source,
Actually, that should be about it, right? Laser source, power supply, and laser source.
I mean, you're not changing. You're not changing the head, so the drivers and servos on that are fine, and the control board is just the control board. And
I think the biggest challenge is probably going to be you can't just swap the source, right? The source is permanently attached to your emitter and your fiber optic cable. So you're going to have to reset your emitter inside of your laser path. And that is going to come with alignment that you're going to have to do with your galvo head, which can be difficult on fibers because you can't just tape over the galvo port and mark it like you can with a CO2. It's not going to be that easy. So it can be dangerous, and you should exercise caution with that. But you will probably have to align your emitter to your galvo head. So it would be something that I would just consider really quick. Bo was asking what the square footage of the shop is. The shop, this is like 200 square feet. This is a bedroom. The shop is around 1,000 square feet. Have we heard any update on Lightburn working for EasyCAD 3 from James Shelton? No, nothing yet. It's still kind of just in the wind. So we will.
I don't even know if it's being worked on at this point because they're still working on adding improvements and features to the existing rollout, as it were.
And that's that. So I think we're caught up. Yep. You answer one, and then they just start rolling
to loop back to upgrading your laser source.
Sure.
What you can do is look at the power requirements of the source you have, the laser source, and look at the power supply you have that's powering it. In some cases, you may not have to switch it depending on how much bigger you're going or if you're switching brands or whatever. But you may have to switch between, for example, like 24 volt and 48 volt, or you may just need a higher wattage power supply, right? That can feed more amperage through it and whatnot.
Most modern laser sources have good documentation outlining the supply that they're going to require in order to operate effectively. So you should be able to find that too. We have a lot of them up on lasereverything.net now because of the spec sheet and downloads page. So that should help. This is ridiculous. I see you responding, Matt. Mike R says, I have a 600 by 600 millimeter CO2 galvo. Focal length is about 720 millimeters. That's
awesome.
Did you guys see that? Disney Plus put out a show. It's called like the World According to Jeff Goldblum or something. Yeah. And there's an episode where he goes to like Levi's or something, and they're like pre-fading the jeans, and they have like a giant one that's like shooting across the room. Like it's like a focal distance of like feet, and it's like marking up the pants. I'm like, I imagine getting caught in the middle of that thing.
Was that UV though, or was it CO2?
I think it's CO2.
That's CO2.
I don't think UV.
I thought so. Because the light,
it would be so costly and inefficient to have a UV do that.
Yeah, but it's Disney. Like whatever.
Well, no, I mean it's Levi's. You know.
Yeah, they're the Disney of jeans.
Love is asking if I hurt my shoulder. I have a pinched nerve in my back somewhere. That's just it gives me pains like I'm having a heart attack, even though I'm not. So I get like left arm pain and chest pain all the time, and it causes me a lot of anxiety. So I try to rub it to make it go away. Because I sit here all day like this, like a monkey typing on a keyboard, and it just messes me up more. In fact, that's probably should I show everybody, Kyle?
Do it.
So this is one of the things that I've done to solve that. Thank you for asking. Everybody always asks, where's Alex, and not how's Alex. This is my standing desk, guys. I don't know if my light's gonna hit the ceiling. Don't hit. That's about as high as I can go before I get my new light tomorrow. But standing desk for my back, so I can try to fix that a little bit because I'm messing myself up. It hurts. So yeah, I'm fine. I'm okay. I don't have a particular injury. It just is uncomfortable and gives me anxiety.
I just want to say that I appreciate the support that Miranda always gives you 1,000% of the time.
Yeah. Oh my God.
In the chat, she's like, "Shut up. Yeah. Be quiet up there and quit your bitching."
Well, you guys hear it once a month. She hears it freaking 80 times a day. I'm like, I'm done.
You know what though?
To the hospital.
When the year we had to teach from home, and I was on the computer every day, I literally had to go see a what do you call them? The backcracker people.
A chiropractor.
Yeah, that's the word.
James Shelton's giving a shout out.
To literally, now. And that's what they had to do is they like stretched me out. They did some kind of thing on me, and it was like pop, ping, boom. Mm. But I mean, it literally, it's weird sitting in a chair all day. Your body is not made for it.
No,
like,
I'm kind of stoked about. I mean, this is really comfortable, just like standing up. You know, in fact, I think I'm going to do this for the rest of the episode. I wish I could get a little more height. I wish I could show you guys. So I've got like one of the big like wireframe light boxes here as my key light, and newer is literally like just put my package in the mail yesterday. I bought one of those like really flat like RGB like panel key lights instead from them, like the gamer streamer kind, and it will let me add like I don't know, like 6 or 8 more inches to because this is at like half as high as it goes. It comes up to like here. So it's just I feel like I have to bend my knees just a little bit, but it's close. So
I figured you hurt your arm like putting everything together because like I saw the desk, it's solid, dude.
I'm sure that's not helping. Yeah, it's a good desk, dude. It was like $300 on Amazon, which is like how much regular desks that don't do this cost. So I was like, okay, I'm into it. And if I'm gonna stand here all day like editing and recording and shooting podcasts and doing videos, like I've been doing this for a year and a half now, and it's starting to affect my body. So I'm really stoked about this. Dude. Kyle's looking at him too. We got to get Kyle one. He can't get one quite this big, but because of his limitations. But
yeah, I gotta adjust some things in the shop, and then we'll get there.
Yeah. Also, you need to shrink because you're 6'12". So
6 foot 7, so 7 foot.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you do math right. Just saying the laser videos. I see you guys.
I know. What I tell him all the time. He's like, I'm not that much taller than you. I'm like, have you watched Lasered? Have you watched it one time?
That's actually probably how you hurt your shoulders.
I was there. Dude. That must be how you messed your shoulders up just
all the time.
No.
You guys are doing Miranda dirty, leaving her no sympathy comment up this whole time. Love says that's the very best fix. Standing desks are amazing. I agree. Yeah. I'm really liking mine so far. Ken Purcell is asking, is a 30 watt good general power for a system for a makerspace? If it's a makerspace and a bunch of different people are not going to be using it and just not one user, I mean, it's a fair start. If that's what you can afford, that's what you can afford for your makerspace. But I would probably go for more power because there's probably people that will come to your makerspace as a patron that are going to require more of that or be frustrated because they aren't they're spending way longer there than they would need to if they had something a little more juicy. So I would say 50 to 60 watts would be a good general use machine for a makerspace.
For something like that, I would maybe consider like a 50 watt LP source from JPT, or I have a little hesitation recommending it just yet because I haven't tested this one out, but there's an upgraded version of this one that's a 50 watt Raycus.
Yeah.
That would give you a little bit more power. You'd be able to do a little bit more. You wouldn't have the frequency range. I believe the 50 watt Raycus is 50 to 100 kilohertz, whereas the LP source would be a 1 to 600. The price difference though, like you could get a 50 watt Raycus unit, like the whole laser, for probably what a 50 watt LP source costs.
Yeah.
Come back and check out when we do some testing on this. Maybe that's a good option for you.
And that'd be interesting too for a makerspace where people don't understand the like all the different frequencies, all the kind of stuff going on.
I certainly would not recommend like a MOPA. That's what I was sitting here thinking. Is that like people are
that's too much.
Break it. Changing the Q poles and stuff. Like holy crap.
Yeah. So
there's too much variables there to really.
Yeah, that's what that Raycus might be what's best, man.
This is why I love having Jack around. He says, I have a standing desk at work, but my chair is not tall enough.
It's a constant struggle, Jack.
Yeah. So very cool. Very cool. Makerspace. That would be cool, man. That would be a cool like business to own. You know, if I wasn't like doing YouTube, start like a makerspace and just have all the I have all the tools. I'm the tool man.
See, that scares the crap out of me because I think about the people who exist in the world and they'd be walking through your door to use tools that can rip you apart.
Disclaimers, bro, and releases. All the relief, 50 pages of paperwork.
Oh, like that just makes me get chest pain now just thinking about that. Good Lord. Like, is this CO2? Is this the one I can stick my hand under like I saw on Laser Everything? And just like fingers are gone. Like toast.
Here, let me just stick my hand under this 10 watt UV.
Pretty much, man.
I just realized that my Laser Source podcast time wasn't up, and it was really bothering me. And it still is not up because it's set to dark mode for the baby snaps.
You broke the world, man. Yeah.
Ken says, thanks, gents. Makerspace is a pretty tough environment for equipment. Yeah.
I can't.
I mean, you have so many people in and out working with the equipment that the more variables you introduce, like, some tools are better with, more functionality, but I would imagine that adding more variables to something like adjustable Q pulse would potentially start, tail spinning you into trial and error versus getting stuff done sometimes. So that might be a battle not worth fighting on that one.
Yeah. But I mean, if you already got one going and it's been successful, but that's one of those things too, you could literally charge people. If you're the person who's the proprietor, you could charge people how to use, do a class there, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So just a thought. So what have you guys been making lately? Anything exciting? Speaking of maker spaces,
videos.
You guys playing with anything? Videos. So all I have to do is content.
Alex has been doing a lot of content. I
literally looked at the hacking plan and I was like, all done.
Yeah, it's it be like that right now. I'll pull it up, dude. I don't care. I'll show people. Let me see.
I felt really bad adding to it.
Hey, dude, that's
how it be.
I literally added one thing and I was like, oh, jeebus.
I mean,
in terms of projects for me, I've just been working on Crash Course episodes and
Gantry CC Crash
Diode
Course
review.
Episodes.
Yep. Gantry. I know that's it's just starting out. There's a lot of mixed feelings on it and excitement, and I'm doing my best not to fall behind on it. I'm excited to pump that out because I know there's a lot of people that want to learn Gantry more. So those will be coming. I believe we'll have an episode out tomorrow for that. I should be polishing off the last bit of that tonight, and then there it is. Outside of that,
so let's take a minute and talk about some of the upcoming stuff that we have in the works, because I think people wonder what we're working on a lot. So it'd be nice to get some of this out there. So we have a guy named Ken who works in movie productions and uses lasers, who would like to come on the podcast. We're going to have him on soon. We're going to have May Armstrong from over at the Laser Lounge on at some point, hopefully very soon. I feel like May should have been on by now. Boyce is working on Roberto Blake. Apparently they're buddies and they chat, so he wants to come on. I still want Garrett from 3D Print Farm to come on. We have to get him on. And a few other people, including my bookkeeper and tax accountant, who are going to come on to offer some small business advice, hopefully very soon, which would be really cool. It's going to be a very cool episode. And next Tuesday, we'll have Homebound Custom Decor on to chat about lasers and stuff. Yeah, they're like a big Instagram presence. They have like 1 billion followers on Instagram or whatever. So it'll be really cool to talk about them and get some perspective from that side of the social verse. And then we've got a bunch of stuff coming up for the Galvo CC. I'm working on QR and barcodes right now, but we're also going to cover, I need to publish an update for the rotary video, material tool testing, 2.5D grayscale engraving, Lightburn camera setup. That one's already shot, just needs to be edited. Intermediate art and graphics, sublayers and pass counts, and intermediate hatch settings. So all of that somewhere in the process for the Galvo CC. The Gantry CC, Kyle, this is basically just all of the episodes from the Galvo CC, but
so many
edited for Gantry, and that includes Diode and CO2. So if anything's different for Diode, you're showing that as well, right, Kyle?
Absolutely. All the detail, any differences, we're basically making sure that it's inclusive of anything Gantry related.
Dope.
Nice.
We still have 5 episodes of Lasered left that need to be edited. The S22 Ultra, Pixel Buds Pro, that's a good episode. The Fire 7, the Galaxy Buds Live, and the iPhone 13. So all of these episodes still waiting to be edited. They're just in the queue right now. We've got a bunch of reviews, a bunch of rotary tools, diode lasers, little tools, and things like that. We have a chiller from Light Object on the way. I don't even have it on here yet, but we have the Light Object Ranger on the way too. Again, that's what we're going to be doing with this chunk of table, literally right there. So hopefully the next time you guys stop by for the podcast, that should be there. And we still haven't really talked about the 5-watt Ingu UV or the 30-watt Coherent too much from Mactron. So those will be getting full reviews as well. And you're fairly close to done with the L5 Pro Laser Storm review too, right, Kyle?
Yep, that'll be coming out soon as well. It's been a work in progress for a while. It's actually, because it surprised me so much, I've actually gone back and tested some different things because it kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop. But it's overall it's very positive.
Good.
So I'm happy to share that with everyone.
Nice. For the buying guide, this is just like so random, but I wanted to do something for Christmas, and these episodes get like hundreds of thousands of views. I try not to overdo them, but they're so popular, and Christmas is coming up. So I was going to do like the best laser engraving machines for Christmas 2022 or whatever. They're dumb, dude, but that gets new people here, and then they can see like the good stuff, you know? So it works. We're going to compare all the Ortur diode laser modules at some point. I really want to get into that because there are so many of them. Somebody requested leveling a Galvo head to your work bed, E-series versus C-series JPT sources and what the differences are. Another video that we want to do. And then a bunch of this is like our junk drawer, essentially. So this is just like all the other things, suggestions that people send in and stuff like that. So we have that, and then we're doing the marketplace, and we've got Discord, the Facebook group, and the LMA that we're trying to make sure we answer everybody's questions on, and make sure people feel heard and helped. So very busy around here, guys. Lots and lots of content coming your way.
Should I mention mine or no?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, mention yours, man.
It is
so
bud.
I'm really excited because it's taken forever. Like literally, if you look at the hacking plan, it's from back in May. Yeah. When summer started, and I was like, dude, I've got all summer. I'm going to be able to create content. It's going to be great. And then summer happened with 3 kids. So basically the Laser 101 pretty much. So all the time, and this is from literally one of the times I was on the podcast, Miranda and a couple of people in chat were like, man, it'd be great to see a video that just talked about the different types of lasers and what would be right for this application and what would be good. You know, what can cut this, what can do that. And so literally Alex and I think Kyle chipped in, a couple other guys chipped in on that one too. And it was like, let's put it together. And so we put a little spreadsheet together, and so basically it's going to be about cost, materials that you can engrave, materials that you can cut, advantages and disadvantages. And it's a pretty quick video covering the 5 main laser types that you just heard about. Yeah. So if you're somebody who's here for the first time, or you're wondering, you know, pretty much what you just said, like, is a 30 watt right for me? What's the cost? Where should I be? Because I think that's a part of the problem too, is when people come into the laser marketplace in general, like the general marketplace, you see things that are $9,000 and $3,000 with basically the same name, and you're like, yeah, but this one must be amazing. It might not be. You know, some people just have middlemen, so that's a whole other video.
They're definitely different, you know. I say this until I'm blue in the face on the podcast all the time, but they're different tools for different jobs.
Exactly.
Always. And I do think everybody should have a diode laser sitting next to their fiber laser. You know, it's not an upgrade from one to the other. They're different things. They don't do the same thing. The only thing they have in common is that they use a laser to get something done. But I mean, you know, there's a ton of value in having both of those things in the shop.
And it's like a scalpel versus a chainsaw. Literally, the scalpel is the diode, the chainsaw is the CO2 just hacking and slashing through.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. So we got a $10 super sticker from Kirk Burning. Thanks so much, Kirk.
Thank you, Kirk.
That. I can't. Are either of you guys watching on the YouTube stream?
Yeah, I've got it
what's
in the
the sticker
background.
look like? Because I can't see it.
Oh, let's see. It's a hippo turning his hat back and being
nice. Okay.
Nice.
There it is. Boom. Now you got to do the thumbs up.
Done. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Boba is asking, I feel like again, when can we get the UV library? Soonish. Kyle and I have a lot of work to do on that. That's not.
Yeah.
We went on a few episodes ago. I know you were here, Boba. But we were talking about how, like, when we push parameter libraries before they're ready, it just makes a shitload more work for us. Yeah. Because things don't work for people and they get frustrated and upset. And
to put focus on it, it makes issues for people who don't have particularly the same setup or you know, whatever. So sorry, go ahead.
I just, you know, eventually it's coming. It's not that we don't care. We've just got so much other content in high demand that we're trying to kind of mow through that first. I mean, like the fact that Laser Everything doesn't have a comprehensive startup guide to gantry lasers is a problem, you know, and before we dive into UV lasers, like we need to get that up, you know. People need to, like, we need to have a resource for CO2 lasers. I'm not rushing you, Kyle. I'm just
you're good.
I'm just saying, like, we need to cover the basics before we get into the advanced, and UV inherently from the first day is advanced. So, you know, once we're finished, kind of, you know, we finished EasyCAD, we're a very good chunk of the way through Lightburn for Galvo. Kyle's going to make quick work of the gantry CC, and I'm planning on doing some. I said I was going to start in October, and here we are. But I'm planning on doing some EasyCAD 3 basics content, which will be with the UV, by the way, because that's my only UV, or that's my only EasyCAD 3 laser. But you know, just in general, we kind of want to get through the basics so that we have an established reference library for people, regardless of their platform. And once we're done creating all that content, then we can move into you know, some of the more challenging lasers like the CO2 Galvo and the UV, which I have. They're there. I don't have that good of an understanding of them. I'm kind of figuring it out right now too. So you know, and Kyle and I have completely different laser sources, so we're trying to figure out like how they're different and how they behave differently, because they do behave quite a bit differently. So yes. We know that you're thirsty for that UV, Boba. I promise you, it has not been forgotten. We just have to kind of get everybody else up to speed. Yeah, and then we'll dive headfirst into, you know, UV stuff. Quick and
question for you too.
There'll be UV land here for a little bit. What's up, Matt?
I think for the UV, isn't Lightburn, aren't they in like the process of making it where you can use the UV with it?
Last you checked, Kyle, right? You got away with it for a second.
It is currently working.
Don't do it.
At least
experimental.
At least with beta.
It's
not 100% for sure.
Oh yeah, I just know it was
still actively being developed.
I only bring it up because it was mentioned in a public forum for UV. Like, there's a UV group that I'm a part of, and Jason had mentioned it in there, and oh my god, everybody was just like,
it's not there. It's not there yet, and I wouldn't attempt that. Unless you know what you're doing.
Right.
To put it in perspective, I'm only getting about 50 to 60% of my power output. So like, it's super noticeable, especially on something like glass. Which they're working on it. They know what's up. It just takes time.
Boba says, if there's anything I can do to help, please hit me up. We certainly will. We reach out to community for help all the time. So I in no uncertain terms, will absolutely reach out to you when we need help, and we will, because we get help on this kind of stuff literally all the time. You know, everything from the parameter converter to, you know, different support projects and input from staff and community members, and just all of it. You know, we're learning every day. I literally open Discord every day and learn something new, or open the LMA every day and learn something new from the members that are supposed to be learning from me. So it's cyclical, man. So we'll absolutely do that.
And
for sure.
I'm on the cusp. I want to pull the trigger so hard. Like, I've got it set up. I want to get the damn UV so bad. I keep going back and forth. You guys know I've been like bouncing between that and the CO2 Galvo.
Sam is after the Holy Trinity as well. He says, my bread and butter has been a fiber laser engraver. Christmas may change that with the CO2. Give me enough time and I'll probably have a UV as well. That's the Trinity, man. That's the big three. I should be wearing my Trinity shirt today. It's kind of the topic. But yeah, man, you want, you know, one of each plus diode at the end, because that kills it, man. That's like the good setup. Nothing's off the table for you after that. Long show today.
The Trinity fiber, CO2, and UV are like the legs of a tripod, right? And then you have diode waving the flag on the top.
That's funny. I don't usually count diode just because it's like the diode costs as much as 2 lenses for any of those other machines. So like, just get one. If you don't have one, just go get a diode.
Yeah.
Danny H is asking, are there plans for power scales, or do you know of generators that work for fiber? Do you guys know what that means? I started reading it before I assessed whether or not I could answer it.
Are you referring to
like what Shark made?
The power percent adjustment on EasyCAD? Is that what you're talking about, Danny? And I think we need a little clarification.
Yeah, a little more context. Miranda says it's only been 45 minutes because I just said long show today. I think it's because I'm standing. I feel like I've been standing here for an hour.
Yeah, but you haven't rubbed your shoulder one time since you stood up, dude.
That's true. Yeah, my shoulder stopped. It's my chest now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
You see Jack in the shop said he's got the plasma CNC router is his main tool. Being
Very
used
nice.
right now.
Those are the, oh man, I did buy something new. I'm not completely out of news today. I got a vibratory tumbler. So I'm going to tumble stuff like,
that's cool.
They shake and you form the green pyramids or whatever, and they like smooth out metal or polish it depending on the media you use.
Dude, that's pretty sick.
I'm stoked about it. I wanted to do a coin episode for a long time, but I did not want to do it without some way to like really finish up.
Finishing.
Yeah, I wanted to go like 100%. So I got the tumbler. It was cheap. It was like $350 on Amazon. We'll review it, I guess, so I can let you guys know what I think of it. But it should be fun to tumble things. We had one by a company called Giant Manufacturing back in my Sonoma laser engraving days, but it was like 5Gs and it was like,
oh my god,
like really big, and I wanted to get something from Giant because I liked them. Their tumbler worked really, really well, but I just don't need anything that big. So to Amazon I went. So I picked one. I did some research. I picked one, and I'm kind of stoked to give it a try.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Yep.
Oh, Danny, he's back.
Like the built-in generator on Lightburn that can be used for CO2 or diode for materials testing. Yeah, so like material testing. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, material testing for sure. Kyle and I will both be covering that in our crash courses when we get to that. Kyle's probably got 10 or 12 episodes before then, and I've got like 3 to 5 episodes before then, maybe less. So yes, we're absolutely both going to be covering that on our respective Lightburn crash courses for sure. Miranda says my shoulder probably hurts because I carry around the 20-pound nugget all day.
She's actually hanging from the desk right now underneath. Now that's what my first thought was, like, as it's lifting.
She's doing pull-ups.
Just gonna be monkey barring around.
Yeah. And
head hanging from it.
Sammy Gordon's here. I watched the lens distortion course for EasyCAD. Are you going to do one for Lightburn? I never could get EasyCAD to work on my fiber. No, not right now, because there is currently no native way inside Lightburn to generate correction files. You can do a Google search for like laser everything, fiber laser setup. It's a very, very old video where we kind of run through first time setup of a fiber laser. And in that video, I go over manual lens corrections, which again is done in EasyCAD in that video, but applies to Lightburn. So if you really, really, really cannot get it to work for you, you can go watch that video and attempt to do manual corrections. But I would keep trying to get core file, at least the core file executable to work, if not EasyCAD, because you really don't want to do it manually.
One thing I'll add to that, the core file method is definitely the recommended way. In the interim, since there is no tool in Lightburn as of yet, they did release a video on doing a lens correction guide kind of workaround via doing it manually by drawing a square and messing with it that way.
Yeah.
It's tedious and it takes time.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do it that way, if you just refuse to go backwards or you don't want to mess with the drivers, resign yourself to you're going to be fiddling with it for a while.
Yeah. We do on that episode I mentioned, we do the post-it note method. So you get a post-it note pad, which is exactly 3 inches by 3 inches, and you keep tweaking the settings until your square is just as perfect as the pad. And that's kind of how we go through. We talk about what the different skew settings and things like that do, and kind of go over that to give you the tools you need to do it manually. But it does, without exaggeration, take hours. So, just like Kyle said, be prepared to have to handle that. Go to the I want to tell people, like, go to the public library and borrow a PC. You can't do that, but like, man, you really don't want to do these lens corrections manually.
It's so tedious. It takes time. Yeah. Even if you're just trying to ballpark it and you're not trying to be specific and getting it perfect,
Yep.
it still takes time.
Yeah.
I was gonna take my glasses off for a second. I can't. I'm blind.
Dude, I keep trying to do that too because my eyes are sore, and I just like my instinct is to like take my glasses off and like put them down. But then the second I do it, I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, I was like, shit. Which one's Kyle? Oh god. By the way, real quick shout out to JMac. Congrats on first. Nice. Way to go on that.
Dude, very nice. Yeah. Way to be first.
Way to win.
Way to win. Always the real winner. We got to get him back on the podcast soon. We haven't had him on in a long time.
Yeah,
in a long time. So we've had a little JMac action on the show.
Have to stay awake late over there.
Yeah, true. Especially with the new streaming schedule. It's like what, 2 a.m. over there right now? Crazy, man. 3 almost.
3 probably 3:30.
By the way, speaking of winning, I brought this up in the Facebook group. So the other day I posted in the Facebook group because as a teacher, I know the end of the first season is coming up for us. Shouting out to anybody who's listening right now. Make a post on Facebook, send an email to a couple schools and do some fishing. Let people know like, hey, I'm here to help you with awards, parent gifts, the individual athlete awards and all that kind of stuff. I've been pretty fortunate. I'm in talks right now. I need to, nail it down, but basically it's about 100 cup order, coming up in the next couple of days. Some trophies. One guy wants the, what's the plaque that goes on for years? What's that called?
Annoying. A lot of work.
Yeah, but I mean, all you got to do is take the one thing. But long story short, what I'm getting at is I literally just made a quick post that said, hey guys, also share with people who you know. 4 or 5 people shared it, and I was able to hopefully get enough money to make that down payment on the UV. So now I'm looking at like UV.
Yeah.
So just saying, quick reminder out there, start getting out there and telling people, hey, because then it's also, if it's the end of the season, that means it's the start of the next season, and people need fundraisers. So just saying, it's things to think about.
I don't mind those giant plaques that you're talking about with all the little plaques on it until they bring it back the next year. And I'm like, what the fuck did I do last time? Like I didn't write down the name of the font. I didn't like write down the measurements on any of the sizes or anything. And I'm just like, shit, like I'm sitting there trying to like match it up.
I save my files as the person's name. It literally would be like Monroe.
Oh, no. Yeah, me too. Like I totally.
It still doesn't matter?
No, dude, because it's like... Did you are you writing in like the settings that you used?
So I literally will save. Well, it saves the settings for the files, so I'll just put like 110. So I would put like Monroe
EasyCAD files.
No, it's laser. What do you call it? Lightburn.
Or like whatever. You're saving project files because
project files.
The way I did things at my shop was I would save I was really good at saving Illustrator files because I had to import it into the program. But once the job was done, I was like, get out. Like,
thank you so much. You guys are the best. Yeah. Now, I save everything as a project file. So like literally I don't even have a CO2 library on my own CO2, and I got made fun of by somebody because all I do is like when I'm making like literally this board, right? I'm just like I type in olive wood, and then I just pull up the last recent project that had olive wood in it, and I'm like, there's my settings.
I mean, that's dope. That's dope though, dude. That's a solid score. It sounds like you've got the lineup like ready to go.
So you're pretty much sold on the UV. You're not thinking CO2 Galvo, huh?
I don't. So okay, actually, let me ask you guys,
which is kind of surprising considering you're freaking.
But look, I'm a cup guy. But so, what would a CO2 be decent on something that look? So the Hewitts, right? Would that be useful or no?
Let me solo you real quick. Hold on. Hold it up again. Hold it up again.
Yeah. So basically, this is a 15-inch olive wood board. If anybody's looking, and so wood. Yeah, it's a great. I mean, look at the. So pretty. So literally what I do.
Just right away. In order to reproduce this look, I would probably recommend to you the CO2 Galvo over the UV, actually.
Yeah.
Because the CO2 Galvo is really good at the burn, So if you want that burning to occur, like almost the branded look.
Yeah, basically.
CO2 Galvo is really the way that you want to lean. UV does very nice wood engravings, but it's more like an embossed, in my experience at least, right? Is that kind of what you think too, Kyle? Has that been your... Yeah, it's more of like you embossed it, very clean.
Yeah.
very, very clean, like too clean, like uncanny clean, you know, whereas CO2 galvo is going to be more like you're toasting it in the toaster with a, you know.
Well, so my thing is and I'm not worried. Like, I know the CO2 galvo could do that job, like, no problem.
Yeah.
But what I'm also like thinking about is versatility. So I already have a machine that can do this job and it does it effectively and the customer is always satisfied. Yeah. But the other thing is the tumblers. And I was literally just talking about this with J-Mac and Kyle yesterday. Like, we were talking for like a bit about that. And so it's just one of those things, like, do you want versatility and diversity, or do you just want to get the jobs that you already do faster? You know? So it's like, but then you can do a tumbler in under 45 seconds, and it's like, so it's tough.
I mean, if I were you, bro, I would honestly, and I'm very tempted to tell you to get the UV, but I would probably get the galvo, the CO2 galvo, just because you would have so much more time on your hands to learn the UV once your cups are taking 45 seconds.
Well, see, and I know that the galvo would pay itself off in like no time.
Yeah, exactly. So, it'd be a faster transition, and your margins for profit are going to fucking shoot through the roof. Like,
yeah, I hope so.
So fast with the CO2 galvo. So that's probably my advice. What do you think, Kyle?
It's a tough call. Do you do a lot of glass at all?
So that's the thing. I've actually got 3 places. By the way, thank you at Laser of Love Creations. But yeah, so that's the thing. I have a meadery in town. I've got a winery in town. I've got a brewery that's just about to start. And I've literally gone to a couple of places and they're like, hey, do you do glass? And every one of them wants glass. And I know that they literally said people steal our glasses all the time, so this would be a recurring order. And I'm sitting there like, okay. And so, and I also know, like, my principal and a couple of other principals, sometimes they don't want to do tumblers because tumblers are a little cost prohibitive when you have to order 300 of them for a school who's on a budget, versus I could go to IKEA, grab glasses for $1 and charge $5 a glass, $6 a glass for a big order and make out pretty good. So
that's true.
That's where it's like,
it's hard.
If you get the CO2 galvo, it will also free up your gantry laser to do the glass work while the CO2 galvo murders the cutting boards and tumblers.
That's my thing about glass. I've yet to do glass to my satisfaction on that machine because it's a 150. So it's like so heavy that like
have you tried the 80% gray method yet?
No. Not yet.
That's what I would do. That would be the first thing I would go do right now. Is for you with the 150, it would be more like 50% gray, but basically rasterize
the images,
your artwork, and then bring it into Lightburn and use the gamma slider to drop the gamma down, and you like those solid black areas are going to speckle, and that actually stops the laser from being on the whole time that it's passing over those vectorized areas.
And that's the problem with that. It just, you see that fracturing.
Yeah, and it gives you a much, much nicer glass finish. I actually haven't like even spent a significant amount of time testing this myself yet, but I've been told by so many members of the community at this point
that's the way to go.
That's the way to go, dude. The more power that you have, the more you want to diffuse that black. But that's the trick, apparently.
Well, one day when you've got a minute, and you can walk me through, unless there's a video for that already.
Not yet, but that would be a good one.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, that's like
I can refer you to something where it shows how to do it in Lightburn.
Oh, there you
Alex's
go.
picture guide when you increase gamma.
That was what I was picturing in my mind when you're talking about messing with the gamma.
That's how you add.
So essentially,
white, basically, you're adding white pixels in to the mix.
Yep.
So, but that's the big thing. Like, I feel like getting those 3 places. Well, I can't do it that way. 3 places. Literally, if I could get those 3, it'd just be money in the bank, recurring orders, and they're super. Every one of those people are super chill people.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, just let me know when you can, man. And I was like, want to work on that.
Yeah, for sure.
If you can get, I think my vote would be, if it matters, if you can get your CO2 galvo to get your glass up to a standard where you like it.
Gantry.
I think a CO2. Yeah, sorry. If you can get your CO2 gantry to do glass up to the standard, no. Yeah, the Dr. Pepper right there.
Yeah.
I would go the CO2 galvo route. And then grab UV after, because the CO2 galvo is
that's what I should do. Oh.
You know,
Sorry, man.
Those late nights in the garage.
I want to be one of the
going to
UV
turn into
kids.
early nights playing
opinions.
on the PS5.
Yeah,
I know.
two opinions you didn't want.
But I will say the UV on glass is freaking beautiful.
It's so nice.
What a great way to counterbalance your point of, hey, you should really do this, but also this thing's awesome.
The UV on glass is
I know.
like sandblasting without the sand or the blasting.
But what's the workable area? I see knuckles.
Let's say it acts like a fiber.
So you've got like about 70.
UVs are just filtered fiber lasers.
But that's the other thing too, is I don't know, I just want to like open up that versatility. But anywho, there you go. That's much better. Oh, look at that.
It's hard to get the lighting.
No, you got it right
tough.
there. Stop. Right there.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
It's very precise there. And I bet you could throw that through the washing machine to be fine.
Oh, 100%.
See, and that's the thing. That's what those companies want, is to be able to, because I'm afraid to.
Love wants to see the glass again with you soloed, Kyle.
Yeah, that's a good call.
My big old face.
Yep, there it is.
And it's like clean.
Yeah, see, that's what's wild.
It's like ablated instead of broken. That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
CO2
there's no jagged, there's nothing to get caught on.
CO2 lasers
just clean.
Fracture the glass. They actually break the glass, and you see the little breaks and fractures in the glass. UV lasers actually ablate this like a fiber laser ablates metal. You're ablating it, just like you would with a sandblaster. Sandblaster like ablates that glass, right? So you're getting that sandblasted finish, and it looks really, really cool. Also, we missed a question up here. I don't want to let it slip away. David Troncaso, sorry for butchering your name. I have a 100-watt CO2 laser. What is the best fiber laser, and what wattage to get into metal?
What are you doing with it?
That's always the question, right? I mean, my general answer when I don't know anything,
50-watt JPT.
50-watt JPT.
That's probably the best bang for your buck while getting power.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a budget option, and if you can wait, I can give you feedback on this machine, and you could either pick a 30 or a 50 watt, and it would be maybe half the cost of a 50 watt JPT.
But see what metals
for all we know, if all you're going to be doing is deep engraving, maybe you'll want more, or cutting for that matter. If you're doing like brass cutouts or jewelry, mass production, you might want to get a 100-watt fiber. So if you give us a little bit more feedback on what you're thinking, we could maybe give you a better recommendation.
And that's why I was holding up the coin and the card. Like if you're just trying to make like pictures on business cards, or trying to make business cards, or if you're trying to mark metal, like there you go, right?
So let us know.
Oh, saying right there, he waits, he can do military.
Yes, I can wait to do military stuff. Want
Metal
to do
coins.
metal coins, they trade. Yeah, so I mean, if military stuff to me usually sounds like you're doing like brass, steel, surface mark stuff for labeling. And if you're doing coins, you're going to be doing potentially deep engraving. Some people don't go deep, but I like to go deep.
Kyle's really taking advantage of having the mic accessible.
I am. If you're going that route, maybe consider a 50 watt or a 60 watt even. I'll give my feedback as we do some more projects. I'll be doing a live stream probably later this week or over the weekend on this 30 watt. The upgraded versions of 50 watt Rakis, which will still be pretty cheap. If you feel like that you need more versatility and frequency, then the 50 watt JPT would be a potentially a better fit.
I'm just going to interject. Forget what he's saying. Just go 120. Just if you deep is the way to
get
go.
Get a 120 watt JPT MOPA.
Get in there with a 70 millimeter lens and just nail it.
Oh my god!
Sammy and Jack are still talking in chat about. So Sammy wants to use the core file, right? But the drivers are not working. They're just getting demo mode like over and over again. They can't do anything else. So
weird. The
things that I usually recommend for that are make sure you remove any USB hubs or extenders from the mix and connect directly to your computer. Make sure you switch USB ports on your computer if one is working but another is not. So make sure to try that, because sometimes the ports just get jammed up and weird. And make sure that your laser is turned on. Sorry, something to check though. What else? What else am I thinking?
If you have. So this is assuming that you've attempted to swap the devices back to EasyCAD already. If you're getting a prompt saying that it's already on the most up-to-date drivers, you may need to, when you're getting ready to update the drivers, right click on the device while it's on and uninstall the device, and you'll get a prompt with a checkbox that asks you if you want to remove the driver. Make sure you check that, and then turn off the laser, give it like 30 seconds, turn it back on, and try installing the driver again for EasyCAD. That, to be honest, has been, if everything else is working, that's been the most reliable for me, swapping back and forth.
Chill. And this question I'm going to point to Matt, because Kyle and I have not done this, but do you guys have any experiences you can share where demoing lasers at a school that led to orders with the school you demoed at? Have you demoed at a school?
So I have not taken my laser to a school because of insurance purposes. So I can tell you right now, schools are super, super insurance-driven machines. If you wanted to do something like that, though, the number one thing you're going to have is a COI. Like, I literally just had a discussion with my site accountant. So basically, we have like 198 schools in our district. There's something like 220 schools or something crazy. And she said in order to do anything, like a service, to provide a service to people, whether off campus or on, you have to have a certificate of insurance. So if you don't even have, and by the way, so my laser is not going anywhere near the school, but for me to sell a laser engraved product, I have to have a certificate of insurance of $1 million liability and $1 million, what's the overall coverage thing? Comprehensive.
Miranda's not here. I don't.
It's comprehensive. So it's like
insurance things.
Or a total of $5 million comprehensive. So basically that's, but that's like $60 a month or $70 a month, depending on who you call. So that would be number one. But I will say, if you were going to go to a school site, I wouldn't take a laser with me. I think the best thing to do would be on the last, what do we call it? The last podcast, basically Jimmy and everybody was talking about, like, how do you show people what you do? You could literally take and make videos for yourself, put it on a USB, and show people the things you do. And I think that'd be a great way to let people see it. So you could have a little booth set up, or you could have something there. And the best thing to do in your district or in your area would be they usually have like a vendor day. And so you can actually go, and principals can walk up and talk to you. And it's a great way to get your name out there, especially if you're in a larger district. Or if not, make that USB and send it to people and say, hey, here's some of the services provide. You can introduce yourself on it. And
USB sticks are so cheap.
Yeah, they're like $3. Plus, you can laser engrave your USB stick with your name and information on it. It's like, I made this too.
Yeah.
Right? So just saying, that'd be the best way. But honestly, principals are super, super busy people. Like, my school is almost 3,000 students in it. And we have 220 teachers in it, and it's all kinds of stuff. So they really have no time. Anytime my principal or other principals have reached out to buy stuff from me, it's just like, give me the information. Here's what I want to do. Yeah, and like Jack is saying, QR codes for YouTube. That's why I've got my QR code coin on me always when I'm at work. Is another coach or another teacher says, hey, can you give me that website link again? Don't even have to say anything. You just hold the coin out. Bam.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So definitely make it easy for them and make it accessible for them. That's the best advice I got for you.
We're going to close out soon because we're at 1:15, but
that went fast.
My brother gave this to me for my birthday like 5 years ago. It's the PlayStation logo. If I can get it to focus. Come on.
There it is.
And then you push it and it tells you the time. And the time is wrong because I don't know how to set it.
I was like, it's not 7:12.
I know. But I wore it today because it's cool, dude.
It is cool.
It's cool. I found
just got a PlayStation.
Redoing
Yeah, love it.
Nice. We got to do another podcast where we talk about not laser stuff. Who would watch that? Smash the like button if you would watch a podcast where the normal Laser Everything crew talks about things that aren't lasers. And maybe we'll get Matt, to spill the beans about friggin' PlayStation. But that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Laser Source podcast, or listening if you're listening to the audio version. Don't forget to smash the like button. Let everybody else know the content is good. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified the next time we go live or publish an edit. We've been doing edits lately. I'm standing by it. No regrets. If you are listening to this on Apple Podcasts, please consider leaving us a 5-star rating. Let us know how long in the review you think it took Matt to get a PlayStation 5. You don't have to write a review. Just click the 5 stars and then leave your guess below. Anywhere from like a month to like 5 years would be an acceptable answer. So go ahead and fill out your Apple Podcast review with that information. And I think that's it. Go get some merch. Go check out the website. We got a bunch of new cool stuff on the website, like the community project database, which is being uploaded to. I see you in chat, Michael. I just saw him. Where was he? Quasar. He's up top, dropping some dope stuff in there. And submissions are open. So if you guys want to contribute a project file to the community, you can go check that out as well. And if you want to support the channel and everything we do over here, please go check out the Laser Master Academy. It's the #1 way to support the channel. And you get a bunch of bonus goodies for signing up, like bonus episodes of the podcast, bonus live streams, and a whole lot more. So you can check that out over at masters.lasereverything.net. Love says, thank you for spending the time with us tonight. Always enjoyment. Have a wonderful evening. You too, Love. Thanks for watching. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. And of course, we will see you in the next one. See you later, boys.
See you guys.
See ya.